Assalamu alaikum, Khawatino Hazrat. Before I begin my presentation, I would like to take this opportunity to thank the wonderful Urdu Writers Society, its Honorable Chairman Mohammad Iqbal, its talented and tireless President Irfan Murtuza, Adbi Markaz ki incomparable Mona Shahab, and fabulous Dr. Farhad Jabin Virk of Par Excellence Fatima Jinnah University for their outstanding contributions and for bringing this conference to life. We are deeply proud and grateful for all that you do. I realize it may feel somewhat ironic or even awkward to deliver a presentation in English at an Urdu conference devoted to language. I was tempted to offer a justification, but how does one defend the indefensible? So instead, I offer my sincere apologies to the purists. I do promise, however, that you will find this talk informative and I hope worthwhile. So, without further ado, let me begin. On future of languages in the AI era. To understand artificial intelligence and its relationship with language, one must first understand what large language models LLMs are and how they work. I will defer to the Venerable Ali Minai, an AI expert who incidentally is the great-grandson of great polymath Amir Minai and also a good Urdu poet. As their name implies, LLMs focus on language. Given a prompt or context, an LLM generates a sequence of sensible continuations. For example, given the context, it was the best of times, it was the system might generate worst as the next word, followed by of and then times. In principle, it could produce another plausible continuation. It was the best of times, it was the beginning of spring in the valley. Though in practice, it rarely does because it has learned Dickens too well. This process of generating words one by one and feeding them back into the system is called autoregression. Modern LLMs are autoregressive text generators. Strictly speaking, they generate tokens, partial words, which are later combined into words, though that technical detail need not concern us here. To us, familiar with the richness and complexity of language, this seems an absurdly unnatural way to produce linguistic expression. Human discourse is messy, filled with ambiguity, nested meanings, shifting references, and layered intentions. No human consciously generates speech one word at a time. Yet paradoxically, this unnatural method reveals something profound about language itself. After training a very large adaptive system on massive quantities of real-world text, the complexities of syntax, grammar, inference, and reference can be captured within a simple sequential generative process. In a sense, the deep structure of language can be flattened into the act of predicting word sequences. Two crucial attributes make this possible: extended context and adaptive attention. An LLM does not rely on only a few preceding words. It may consider thousands. More importantly, it does not treat them as a mere sequence or bag of words. Instead, it learns which parts of the context deserve attention at each moment and weighs them accordingly. This mechanism is adaptive attention. With this rudimentary understanding of LLMs, we arrive at the central question: how does this new way of generating language threaten or enhance literature? And what does it mean for professional writers? The limits of artificial language. The astonishing capabilities of modern models are undeniable. Their prose can be elegant, coherent, and even beautiful. Yet, they are unlikely to replace truly creative writers. Again, Ali Minai explains why. ChatGPT or any LLM has no sensory input, no behavioral agency, and no lived experience of reality. It encounters the world only through data, primarily text. It infers relationships and causality only insofar as these appear statistically in language. It resembles a prisoner in Plato's cave or Tennyson's Lady of Shalott, seeing reality only as shadows or reflections. What it learns is grounded not in experience but in text itself. It generates convincing language as simulation, not expression. The system has no long-term autobiographical memory, no motivations, and no autonomy. Its working memory is merely its token buffer. In real-world terms, it is not truly intelligent. Yet within the universe defined by text, it is remarkably intelligent, and that is what makes it fascinating. This distinction is essential. Great writers add to language. They translate sensory experience, emotional struggle, observation, and memory into words shaped by unique syntax and vision. LLMs, by contrast, possess no lived life, only traces of lives already recorded in language. I call this writing reflective and soulless, grammatically refined, stylistically competent, yet ultimately derivative. For great poetry, consider this beautiful couplet by Seemab Akbarabadi. तुझे दानिस्ता महफिल में जो देखा हो तो मुजरिम हूँ, नज़र आखिर नज़र है बेइरादा उठ गई होगी. Its subtle emotional ambiguity, half confession, half innocence, captures an intensely human moment. Such originality arises not from statistical patterning, but from lived perception transformed into art. Outstanding writers, therefore, need not fear displacement. They endure because they offer what machines cannot. Khoon-e jigar, the heart's blood that gives literature its color. As Iqbal noted, मोजज़ा फन की है खून जिगर से नमूद. Art reveals itself through inner sacrifice. Take another example from Irfan Murtuza's masterpiece. जो भी था क्या थोड़ा था. Its power lies in collective memory. For immigrants, the poem condenses nostalgia, loss, pride, and longing into a few words. Readers recognize their own lives within it. Irfan does not merely describe experience. He articulates what many feel but cannot express. Similarly, तुम पूले नहीं समाये थे जब एम्बेसी से आए थे. These lines resonate because they emerge from an experience that only immigrants can relate to, and the ensuing euphoria of finally getting the prize. They introduce something genuinely new into literature. An LLM cannot independently originate such experience. It can only recombine what already exists. Who gains in the age of AI? Ironically, those who benefit most from AI may be neither the great writers nor the literary elite, but the average writer. AI democratizes articulation. People previously unable to express complex thoughts clearly can now communicate effectively. In this sense, AI performs a profound social service, rescuing us from poor writing and transforming jumbled thinking into intelligible prose. Great writers may also use AI as critic, editor, or stylistic mirror. Yet this advantage carries danger. It's a slippery slope. Over-reliance risks diluting individuality, replacing distinctive voice with statistically averaged expression. The writer who leans too heavily on the model risks losing precisely what makes their writing meaningful, their individuality. AI can imitate style, but it cannot possess a soul. It reflects sunlight. It does not generate it. AI creates a new challenge for great writers. Reflective writing produced by AI can sound so polished that readers may hesitate to give real writers proper credit, assuming strong writing must have been generated by AI. The future of language. AI does not signal the death of literature but a transformation of its ecosystem. Mediocre writing will improve dramatically. Functional communication will become clearer and more efficient. At the same time, authentic literary excellence may become more valuable, not less, because genuine originality will stand out sharply against algorithmic fluency. Perhaps we are fortunate. We may be spared the worst excesses of bad writing while preserving and even highlighting the writers whose lived experience gives language depth and permanence. The future of language in the AI era, then, is not replacement but clarification. Machines will refine expression, while human writers will continue to supply meaning. And as long as literature requires khoon jigar, the truly gifted writer will always shine. M. Iqbal. Newport Beach, 4/15/26. Assalamu alaikum.